Today we're going to pour some flat work. Flat work is defined as concrete with no support beams. For example, flat work is typically used for sidewalks, driveways, parking pads, things of that nature, okay? Not a foundation, which would be reinforced concrete. If you don't know the difference, I made a video here kind of explaining the difference in strength between pretty much a slab that is not reinforced versus one that is reinforced. So for flat work, typically it's not reinforced with beams. We do use rebar, and we do use turn down beams on the perimeter, but that's just how we do it. So anyway, let me show you what goes into doing some flat work. So as you can see here, we're installing 4-inch expansion joint with snap cap. That white strip on the top is meant to snap off after the concrete has been poured. So the reason we do the expansion joint where the concrete or the flat work is going to meet the home is concrete is always moving, especially if it has different mass than the main foundation. They're going to move at a different rate, okay? So we're gonna use the expansion joint. That's going to allow the concrete or the flat work to move independent than the foundation, okay? And like I said earlier, the snap cap that we're putting on top, after the concrete has been poured, we're going to be able to pull it off and then seal that gap with self-leveling epoxy. You do not want any water to go down in there, okay? The other thing that we're going to do is going to use smooth dowels. We're going to epoxy the dowels into the foundation, and we're just going to leave them in the flat work. You do not want that flat work to grab onto the dowel. Again, you want that flat work to move independently. However, the dowels are going to keep it from shifting elevation in a way from the main foundation, so that your slab doesn't, or your flat work doesn't raise up. So that's what we're doing here. That's the reason we're putting expansion joints. You always want to put expansion joints between two slabs, okay? So anyway, that's what we're doing here today. It is 7:30 a.m. and or 07:30, and we are concrete scheduled to be here at 10 a.m. So things are going well. We have all the rebar, so we're just gonna, and again, another thing that he's doing is he'll drill a hole with a 1/4-inch drill bit, and then he'll put two 16 D nails in the hole side by side, hammer them in, and then bend the sides, and that's gonna keep the that's gonna hold the expansion joint in place. So because it's gonna be really hot today, we are pouring poly, 6 mil poly down. That is going to help us hold the moisture in the concrete and keep it from drying out too fast. So a piece of drywall is what they use for their chalk, and it works really, really good, as you could tell. As you can see, there is a turn down beam on the perimeter. We want to be into undisturbed ground. I do not want, for example, heavy rain typically will come and run alongside the flat work and erode underneath, and then all your base washes out. So I don't want that to happen. So that's why we do that. As you can see here, I mean, it's on the ground right now, but we put rebar bed down so that we have rebar going into that beam. And that's how you tie rebar. How do they do it, Daniel? So we're almost ready to pour. We're still about an hour and a half early, but we still need to protect the entire wall. We're gonna put some plastic up there. Concrete will get anywhere. It's like a gas. I don't know how, but it gets everywhere. So we're gonna protect the wall, make sure we do not make a mess. So see what they're doing over here? So they're putting epoxy in the holes that they drilled so that we can put our smooth dowels in there. The smooth dowels are being epoxied to the main concrete. they just called me from the other job site. They got a concrete truck stuck over there. So Leroy's hooking up to the trailer right now, so he can take the bobcat over there. Go. All right, so we don't have any bricks on here because they were at the other job site and we didn't have time to get them. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna make sure we lift the rebar as we're going. Go ahead and lower it. All right, let me see what it looks like. So on this one, we have water reducer and retarder. We have high range in here. So it's probably gonna look pretty wet when it comes out, but because it's a long haul and you know, it's middle of the day, I ordered, you know, this is a special mix. This is not your typical mix, so it's probably gonna look pretty wet when it comes out. But again, as you've seen, we haven't added any water or anything. Might add about 5 gallons of water because the other guys don't get here. So we're pouring a 4,000 psi. 5 gallons. Get over here. So I like to run the chute as slow as possible to keep the splashing down to a minimum. If the sun comes out, you may have to put the camera down, Daniel. This is a Marshalltown 2x6 screed board. All right, we have reinforcements. Do not try this at home. All right, so the sidewalk's done. Well, it's poured. We have another small sidewalk around the back of the house. That one, we can't really get around it. So, like I said, there's a septic tank right there. All right, so we're gonna bring the truck the other way. Yeah, right there. And then I gotta get out of here because I need to go. I don't even know how the other guys are doing. They got a truck stuck over there. Leroy went over there with a bobcat. Hopefully that'll help. But once I get this one poured out, Daniel and I are gonna jump in the truck and head to the other job site. So here's another huge advantage of the roller bug. If we were doing this with a jitterbug, you would splash concrete everywhere. So we only have one bull float because the other one's at the other job site. Check out the homemade bull float. So you just take a 2x6, wrap it with plastic, put a handle on it, and you're good to go. No excuses, get it done. Daniel, go ahead and start loading up so we can go. All right. You know, this is how they built the pyramids, right? They would back the concrete truck up, then they had to wheelbarrow it. I bet you that was hard work. They probably didn't even have a good cell phone service where they were at. All right, so we're gonna have to run to the other job site. We're probably not gonna show you the end of this job site, but you get the gist of it. We got it all poured out. I'm gonna leave 2 guys here, and we're gonna go help the other guys at the other job site. Leroy went over there earlier with the Bobcat because we had a truck that got stuck over there. And anyway, we're gonna go give those guys a hand. We are Texas Barndominiums, in case I don't see you anymore.